There it goes. Okay, well, hi everyone. I'm Mike. This is Leisha. We're your friendly neighborhood co-chairs. Thanks for coming out to our hackathon. We're going to start with the CGD Code of Conduct, which can be summarized as be nice to each other. So, like, you don't have to agree, but if you're going to disagree, offer constructive feedback. Communicate context, listen, show appreciation, share the error, value new ideas. So this is the basic agenda. We're going to spend about half an hour saying hi and going over the projects we want to work on during the hackathon. We have 2 3-hour blocks of time, and then we'll reconvene here at 4 o'clock and just have each of the group give like a 5-minute overview of what they did today. There are 2 20-minute breaks, and I think there'll be snacks out in the sitting room for people in person. Also want to advertise a couple upcoming CSM events. The workshop this summer is the 30th annual workshop. It'll be June 9th through 11th. It's a hybrid event. The in-person stuff will be at Center Green in Boulder. And then in July, the tutorial is going to be that week of July 7th to 11th. And registration is open through Friday, February 7th. I thought I'd also give a little bit of an update on the CSM3 development. So we've been using this term that the code is chilled, so it's not frozen. We're still bringing in a few science changes and also tuning the model and fixing bugs as we find them. This timeline came from a CSM project meeting, I think last week. And so like, the basic idea is, the hope is sometime late spring or early summer, we'll have like a final configuration of the model that we can start spin up. And while the spin up run is going on, we'll also be testing and writing documentation, doing other simulations. And then, yeah, I don't know where in the calendar this is, somewhere between summer and January, we'll have a release. It's not clear when all the CMIP forcings will be available, but hopefully we can start some big runs in the summer. Dave Lawrence made a point of saying that this January 2027 is kind of like the fixed deadline. So if stuff over here gets pushed late, then this red line is shorter and we get less simulations done. As far as I know, these are the major outstanding development tasks besides just tuning and fixing bugs. So CAM has a gravity wave parameterization that should be coming in whatever alpha tag CAM is putting its next changes into. CSM doesn't conserve enthalpy, but it needs to. And so there are people on both the ocean and atmosphere side working on this. This wasn't a concern in CSM2, but this is like a mom versus pop difference thing that the way MOM6 handles salt fluxes and mass fluxes, we want to conserve enthalpy now. The ice sheet model and the ocean BGC tracers are waiting for final physics configuration before spinning up and tuning those parts of the model. Those don't have big feedback to the rest of the physics, so it should be okay for them to wait. And then CSM is currently concentration driven, and we're working on emissions driven concepts as well. And that one can happen kind of as the concentration driven spin up is going on. And then Leisha has some updates on the NOAA side.
Before that, what are moving mountains like? Through the time scales?
No, it's the convective. I think it's the I know it's the gravity waves produced by like mesoscale convective systems, and I think it's called moving mountain because they treat it like the physics treats that as a mountain, like it's producing orographic forces.
Understood. Well, I know this workshop is obviously about CSM, but I think it's nice to stress the collaboration between NCAR and NOAA. One thing is our organizations just renewed their MOU a couple months ago, and it has a lot of areas of collaboration, both in the science and also in the software. Well, NOAA ran a bunch of models, but maybe just to give a few highlights here of the unified forecast system. So This is a new forecast system as of the last like 5-6 years for NOAA that is planned to subsume a bunch of diverse models, dynamical cores, and components that we have. And this is a work in progress in terms of rolling out this unified system, and it's Earth system, so it has much like CSM, ocean and sea ice and etc. components. So it is starting to roll out into operation. So this last year of 2024, there were 2 operation implementations of the UFS. One is for the air quality model. That's a 13-kilometer regional model over North America, coupled with the CMAC for chemistry. And another operation implementation last year was the hurricane AFS, which is also a limited area that runs on demand over the oceanic basins when there's a tropical storm. It's coupled with the HICOM ocean model. And then coming up, hopefully in 2026, pending evaluation, we'll have implementation of 2 global models. So the Global Forecast System, GFS, and the Global Ensemble. For the first time, if all goes well, GFS will be a fully coupled model. Up until now, GFS is just atmospheric model. And then we also hope to see implementation of the 3-kilometer RRFS. That's the Rapid Refresh Forecast System that runs at 3 kilometers. So all that is going on with the FV3 Dynamical Core. This RRFS runs with the old data simulation, that's the GSI, but there's a big push to move to JEDI data simulation. The global, the models here is global will run with JEDI for everything but the atmosphere. So the ocean, everything. But going forward, big push to get JEDI in. And other big new thing is RRFS version 2 is expected to use the MPAS Dynamical Core. And that's because the FV3 Dy core wasn't found to be so suitable for convective, strong storms in the spring in the central United States. And that's very important to predict well. So a lot of work to get MPAS Dynamical Core into the UFS and some learning some lessons from you guys about multi-die core, software. So that's it. And just to add to Mike's list of workshops, there is going to be a UFS workshop. Has this funny name, UIFCW, Unifying Innovations in Forecast Capabilities Workshop. And that's going to be right here in our neck of the woods in Boulder and Carr Center Green. So if you're curious, stop by or register. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so that's kind of the brief overview, and then the next few slides will be the plan for the rest of the day. So when you registered, there's a link to like the hackathon proposal slide deck, and there were 4 projects in that slide deck by the end of the registration period. And so we're going to go through each of those 4 slides in the project lead. We'll talk about the what and why. And then after hearing the project pitches, there's this group sign up. I don't know, I feel like this is something I maybe dropped the ball on. I probably should have sent this link around, but I'll put this link in the chat in this meeting, and maybe the project leads can also just have this document open. But basically, we just want people to sign up for where they want to be and what they want to work on. It'll have the location for the in-person participants. I think we're going to have 1 group in this room, 1 group in the sitting room, and then 2 groups in the library. So if you want to split time between 2 groups, like work on one in the morning and one in the afternoon, that's totally fine. Just mark that on the sign up. And then there are some folks who have said that they want to float from project to project, and that's great. Just either walk around the building if you're here, or jump from meeting to meeting. We also have some long tables in the library reserved if you just need like a quiet place to work and not focus on one of the 4 projects. There are a couple of tables in the library with the working group like placard on them. So I guess I'll jump in with the first project. So Cupid is the CSM Unified Post-Processing and Diagnostics, and it's a project that Tegan and I have been leading for a little over a year now, and we're finally at a point where it can be included in the CSM workflow. But this initial implementation is kind of terrible. Like, it's not flexible at all. You can run a couple model for a year and then compare to one specific baseline case. And so we just want to add flexibility. Like, we want to create a new XML environment file in the CSM case directory and have that like let us change how we're configuring Cupid. Yeah, and those will be useful for providing some diagnostics, like on the fly after doing your run. Like you can set up your run, and then you can just tell your run, like, oh, when you finish 100 years or whatever, run Cupid and make these plots for me.
Great. We are also going to have a second Cupid hackathon proposal, which is adding in additional key metrics to Cupid. So we're hoping to have this session be set up so that people can add new notebooks that can provide diagnostics at the end of the CSM workflow. And I'll help people get started and make sure that we have the formatting that we need to bring things into Cupid.
I don't know which of you two want to go through this.
Okay, so both CAM, SEMA, and UFS want PUMAS, which is a microphysics package parameterization. And we both are, the way we can both get access to that is by putting it into something called the CCPP, the Common Community Physics Package, which is essentially a framework and a library that allows host models, so like CAM or UFS, to share physics schemes. So yeah, basically the plan is, since we have NOAA and NCAR people here, is we could work together to try to make as much of the code portable between the host models as possible and get PUMAS working in both SEMA and UFS. Which, yeah, and there's many steps, which we have a slide deck for the folks who are interested. So yeah, it'll be great. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Jack, do you want to unmute? Oh,
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, I am not a member of NCAR, but I work at the Institute of Computing for Climate Science in Cambridge, and we've been developing some software that allows coupling of PyTorch models, some machine learning, deep learning models, into Fortran. And one of the things, I've got a couple of projects that collaborate with people using CAM for gravity waves, precipitation, and other stuff. And we've been doing some work as well with Will, who is somewhere in the room, I hope. Yeah. So there's been, we've had work with a few projects, and we've been talking to people about making this kind of more generally accessible within CSM and SEMA. And so what we want to do is now sort of spend some time with experts in the room today to sort of take what we've got working for particular cases to make it more generalizable and more widely available.
great, thanks. So just for the details, we'll have the FTorch project stay in this room, since I think a lot of the people on the call are going to be working on it. And so you can just stay in this Google Meet and in this room. The CCPP PUMAS folks can just go out to the sitting room. The two Cupid projects can go into the library. And then, like I said earlier, we have the long table at the front of the library if you just need to work on something else for a little bit. So this is the part where I have no idea how this works, but this is a QR code for a document. Let me put the link in the chat. And zero pin button. I'm gonna go back to here. So yeah, if you want to sign up, oh, let me bring this back to make it big again. If you want to sign up, like, you can also just go to the space where your group is going to be, and then we can like fill in the document afterwards, just kind of have a list of who is doing what. And just a reminder that there is a break at 10:20, and then we'll do lunch in the cafeteria. And I think Teresa put some placards on tables for us so we can all sit together. After working together for 3 hours, probably gonna want to sit together even longer. After lunch, we'll go back to the group work in the same place, and there'll be an afternoon break at 2:20, and then we'll meet back here at 4 o'clock, and we'll just try to wrap up with updates on how we did. And I think that's the last slide. So thanks. Yeah.
I don't seem to have edit access to the document.
Oh, let me. I kind of thought everybody with the link did. Did I paste the wrong link? You try this. Oh, it looks like the same.
The link is editor.
And is there a Google Meet set up for other?
Oh, that's a
Or-
What? No, so what I was thinking was, we could set up individual Google Meet and then just put the link in the document when we get there and when they're running.
I got it.
It's working.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, and so we'll see how it goes. If maybe at lunch, if there are problems, let me know and we can try to make it better for the afternoon. And I guess if there are real problems, find me before lunch and we'll fix them. But if you just want to complain, wait till I have food. Okay. And I guess we can stop recording like 2 minutes ago. Cool. All right, thanks. I'm gonna